So I don't think Todd's worried about Kandi being fair. I feel like he wants to pound his chest a little bit because he's read the jokes.
We break up and now I got to take care of that anyway.
Right, and that's why
So,
to me,
does that make
I would
sense?
think it would make more sense to say, hey, well, if we ever break up, we would
Sell the house.
We would sell this house,
Put you in
and you would
something
stay in something
you could afford.
Not put you in the hood and that, especially if we got kids together.
Right.
But maybe it wouldn't be this house.
Todd Tucker is the one person Kandi still can't seem to shake. Because what do you mean he's now teaming up with Kandi's arch nemesis, Tamar, to gang up on her? Girl, Todd really looked like he was in on the whole scheme. Ever since their divorce was finalized, Kandi has been painting a picture that she and Todd are still family and that there's no real mess happening behind the scenes. But Todd isn't just spilling the tea about Kandi's businesses. He's also taken Tamar Braxton's side, seemingly helping expose Kandi as a mean girl because he didn't get the divorce settlement he believed he deserved. Now, in case you didn't know, Kandi reportedly came out on top in their divorce battle. She's rumored to be worth somewhere between $30 million and $40 million, and judging by the way Todd was moving, it looked like he was ready to take this fight all the way to the bank. But Kandi managed to come out just fine, and that reportedly has Todd so pressed that he appears ready to seek revenge, no matter the cost.
But for the most part, even if we argue, we still, try to be nice to each other.
You're co-parenting.
Yeah, we're
yes.
co-parents. And last night we went to my son's basketball game. So we were there sitting right next to each other. I'm sure people was like,
Right.
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 But I feel like once we're done with this, I really feel that we'll be able to be great co-parents. Because
Good.
our ultimate goal is
That's
to
the
make
most
sure
important.
that all of our kids are happy and that they don't feel the blunt of
Yes.
our drama.
Okay, clears throat. Mind you, neither of them had to pay child support or alimony. Kandi was required to pay Todd $426,388, with $250,000 paid up front and the remaining balance divided into installments. They also split their 10 cars equally, and when it comes to their children, they shared joint legal and physical custody. Their real estate was divided between the two of them, and it looks like they also agreed to sell their food truck and split the proceeds. But this is where things get insanely crazy, and it's what appears to have Todd all riled up. Remember, it was previously said that Kandi didn't need Real Housewives of Atlanta because she was already a multimillionaire, only for it to reportedly come out that Kandi is making just $22,000 per month, which works out to roughly $260,000 a year. After taxes, that could leave her with around $170,000 in net income. Now, that's certainly nothing to scoff at, but based on what we're seeing, could this be the reason Kandi is constantly involved in a million smaller projects? Maybe she knows the whole thing could come crashing down at any moment.
His gross monthly income is approximately $22,083.33. The defendant's gross monthly income is approximately $22,083.33. So according to Kandi and Todd and their attorneys and what they want y'all to know, they both make the same amount of money. Okay, so y'all can quit calling Todd a deadbeat. They both make the same amount of money.
Well, not entirely. Sources close to the couple are claiming that the divorce settlement may not have revealed the full truth about what's really going on. On paper, it's true that Kandi reportedly makes only around $260,000 a year. But when you own your own businesses, you can structure how much you personally pay yourself from those companies, which can help reduce your taxable income. So, Kandi could have one company handling her publishing and songwriting, another managing endorsements and other opportunities she receives as a media personality, along with several other businesses she has built over the years. It's also possible that certain assets could be held under Mama Joyce's name, which would generally be outside Todd's reach legally, even if he wanted to pursue them. In other words, Kandi may have structured things in a way that kept Todd from accessing income generated by businesses she owned independently. And what she allegedly did with the businesses they shared only seemed to leave him even more pressed. Now, we know that several of their joint ventures, particularly restaurants like Old Lady Gang, struggled financially and eventually had to shut down. But one area where they appeared to work well together was their production companies. They had their independent production banners, Kandi Coded Entertainment and T. Tucker Productions, and reportedly co-produced various projects together. They worked on Othello, which became a major Broadway success, along with other projects such as The Piano Lesson and Thoughts of a Colored Man. And even though they were considered equal partners in these ventures, their responsibilities were reportedly very different. Todd was described as the primary scriptwriter and creative visionary, while Kandi handled the branding, distribution, finances, and other business matters connected to their projects. And this is where things reportedly started getting messy. Reports claimed that Kandi was more than happy to let Todd be viewed as the creative mastermind while she focused much of her attention on something far more old school, keeping a close eye on the books. Whenever money started coming in, she was allegedly right there with a calculator and a team of accountants, carefully examining the numbers and minimizing any obvious appearance of profits. The books would reportedly show that whatever money they earned was being absorbed by equipment fees, licensing costs, and various overhead expenses that seemed to appear out of nowhere. While these claims remain allegations, they certainly paint a complicated picture of how the couple's businesses may have been structured behind the scenes.
Writers claim the financial spouse filed when the timing was perfect, right after the books were organized, the debts were documented, and any marital profits have been carefully minimized by perfectly legal, perfectly boring accounting management. If the rumors are true, the creative partner didn't lose a spouse. They lost a financial war they didn't even know they were fighting.
The accountants reportedly primarily worked for and reported to Kandi, meaning Todd only saw the numbers he was given without necessarily understanding how the money was actually moving behind the scenes. Todd was allegedly fighting a financial war he didn't even realize he was part of, and according to these claims, he only discovered the bigger picture after their divorce was finalized. Throughout the divorce, Kandi reportedly kept everything as friendly and amicable as possible, which may have helped prevent Todd from becoming suspicious, digging deeper into the documents, or taking a closer look at how their finances were structured. But now that the divorce is over and the two are unlikely to continue working together on the same projects, Todd has reportedly been going through everything and was furious when he allegedly realized the game Kandi had been playing. That man has reportedly been deep in his feelings, talking smack about her behind the scenes, and allegedly claiming that Kandi and Mama Joyce scammed him and did him dirty. And then you have the entire Tamar Braxton situation, which has added another layer to the drama. Tamar has openly accused Kandi of being a mean girl, and while Todd may not have taken his complaints to the internet the same way Tamar has, he has reportedly been trying to distance himself from Kandi's circle. There are also claims that Kandi repeatedly tried to have Tamar removed from projects in Atlanta and allegedly warned people against working with her. If those claims are accurate, it would explain why Todd's alleged decision to side with Tamar has created even more tension and why this divorce drama may be far from over.
You the one who can sing so beautifully, but don't nobody give a fuck about it, because the only reason you ever get airtime lately is when you're talking about me or you're talking about somebody else. You're doing something negative. And if that's what you want to be known for is negative bullshit, keep doing what you're doing. Other than that, I would suggest learn how to be a lady. Learn how to carry yourself in public. Learn how to carry yourself on the internet. And learn how to handle your business without being known for drama.
And allegedly, Todd is siding with Tayana on this one, agreeing with her claims that Kandi throws shade behind the scenes and gets revenge, while somehow keeping her hands completely clean. However, Tayana has cried wolf one too many times for some people to automatically believe her this time. But now that Todd has allegedly seen some of these things for himself, he may finally understand what Tayana has been talking about all along. Get this. He is reportedly supporting Tayana in this situation and believes Kandi will eventually have to face her own karma. Kandi already knew she wasn't happy in the marriage and wanted a divorce. But if you look back at her history, she's someone who can hold a grudge for as long as necessary. It reportedly took her nearly 20 years before she finally forgave the Scott sisters. However, no matter how angry she gets, Kandi is also known for being strategic and wanting to walk away from every situation looking completely innocent. So instead of confronting Todd directly, she allegedly went behind the scenes and hit him where it hurt without doing anything obvious enough to raise his suspicions. Everything was reportedly planned out so carefully that even if Todd tried going back to court, he wouldn't necessarily be able to overturn the divorce. And anything involving their accounts could potentially be explained through legitimate business and financial records. But as justified as Todd may feel in being angry about what he believes Kandi did, many people simply aren't looking at the situation from his perspective. From the videos and moments we've seen throughout their marriage, it often appeared that Todd was very interested in the money and what he could potentially gain financially by being with Kandi. So, some viewers have argued there was nothing wrong with Kandi beating him at his own game and protecting herself. One person even summed it up by saying, "Yes, Kandi, don't let him play in your face. Show him how it's done. Play chess, not checkers." Another viewer added that they were glad to see a successful Black woman being smart about protecting her assets, saying that this is usually not the headline people expect. And honestly, that could also explain why some believe Kandi was willing to let certain restaurants close rather than continue pouring money into businesses that weren't working. But what do you guys think about all of this? Do you believe Kandi was simply protecting what she built, or did Todd have every right to feel betrayed? Sound off in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe. See you later, baddies.